into the danger zone.
The Drew Yari Show.
The Drew Yari Show.
Hell yeah. Stupid idiot.
Drew Yari. The Drew Yari Show begins now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Drew Yari
Yeah, I
Show.
guess we'll start already.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, what's going on, guys? We're back after a 2-week hiatus. I guess you can technically call it 2 weeks. Or, a week hiatus. We're back. It's Wednesday. It's 8 p.m. It's only a little bit past 8 p.m., but not too much. But welcome back to the show. I'm Drew, and with me, as always,
Justin from Spine Buster Tees, baby.
And we have a few people here. Hopefully it fills up, which it usually does. But how was your your week off from the show?
I mean, it was pretty cool. Wednesday was last Wednesday was good because I was watching some NBA games. Spurs play their first game of the season last week. They got their asses kicked and they won 3 straight for some reason.
On the road.
I do not want the Spurs to win any fucking games this year because there's a generational talent named Victor Wembanyama who's a fucking unicorn pretty much. So, but yeah, they're playing right now, and So we're losing, which is good. If we lose, it's good. If we win, it's bad.
Yeah, because I watched that game last week just so I can see the younger talent, just to see what this team has, going forward. If they do end up getting, a number 1 pick, it's like, okay, let's see, what other talent can help, build this team in the future or rebuild. Keldon's really good. I mean, Keldon gets, just seems to get better each season. He has a jump shot now, so good. Who else? Trey Jones is in the starting lineup. He's a decent shooter. Pirtle plays for his money, and he's pretty good. He's a solid big man. He's not gonna do much for you, but he's gonna go out there and get you like maybe 10, 12 rebounds a night, a couple blocks. The new guys, I'm not too impressed with. Like Sochin, he's not.
He's young.
Yeah, right. I mean,
he's young. I mean, if he don't expect him to be coming out being a scorer. Immediately, he's more defensive, right? So, he's not gonna score like 20, 30 points a game. He may score like 10 points a game, but he's so valuable on the on the defensive side of the ball, which is why they drafted him.
Right. So and you said he's a defensive player in college. So was Kawhi. I know it seems like the dirty word to say in San Antonio now, but
who's that?
Some bitch. He was a defensive player in college, and Spurs molded him into the player he eventually became, and unfortunately he learned bad habits. But we're not talking about him. We don't talk about Kawhi. But Sochin, it's his first year, so I'm not like you said. I'm not expecting him to go crazy and score like 30 a game. The best we can get out of him is maybe like nine a game, maybe like 5, 6 rebounds, and which with each season, hopefully he can get better. Because like with Keldon, Keldon barely played in his first season, and then he had that explosive end of the bubble season, and he's just gotten better and better each season. So the Spurs aren't dummies. They're not dummies when it comes to drafting people.
Definitely not. No. Another thing I did over the week, this past weekend, I went to Traders Village here in San Antonio and bought some figures for the business. I bought some pops and all that stuff. Guess who I ran into?
Who?
I ran into 2 people. Well, one I ran, and they were both at the same place. So really, I ran into Tyler Main, who played Sabretooth in the original X-Men, and also Michael Myers. Yeah, Michael Myers. Yeah, from the Zombie Halloween series franchise. Well, not franchise. I mean, the two movies that was made in that timeline. But anyway, then I also ran into I forget his name, but Leatherface that played in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think he was also Zangief in Street Fighter.
Oh, the movie
in '94. Yeah, the movie. I forget his name though, but Ranty. Yeah, they were there. Having photo opportunities and autographs and stuff, and very Tyler Mane, very nice. He's super nice. He's tall as hell. He's like 6'9". Super nice, man. Super nice, man. I was talking to him for about like 5 minutes. There was no one else there at the time because of I went early. I went around like 11 o'clock. So I guess they were still trying to get set up, and I just wanted to get in and get out early in the morning. Yeah, so I guess they were still trying to set up, and I was just talking to him and whatnot, and just was asking him some questions and just trying to get his insight on his version of Michael Myers, which was pretty cool. It was definitely a cool experience.
And who was the third person you met?
Oh, that was 2 people.
Oh, I thought you said 3 people.
No, it was just 2 people.
Okay. You know what? We were almost gonna go on Sunday to Trader's Village, but we didn't have.
I don't know if they were there Sunday. I was there Saturday though.
Okay, yeah, we were gonna go on because was it last Saturday we went to a birthday party, and it was our niece's first birthday party, and so kind of like a funny story going with the party. So like last Christmas, Betty bought me like one of those gag gifts, like gifts that you don't really take seriously, and it's just like, oh, it's a joke or whatever. Like when you go to like Target or Walmart, you'll see like those WWE kits where it's like, here's Roman Reigns' tank top with a belt and a mask. Right. She bought me that for Christmas last year as like, as like a funny gift. And it's like, yeah, there's no way in hell that's going to fit me, for one thing. So, I mean, I still kept it just to kind of laugh. So, for our niece's or her brother's kid, they already bought her a gift, but they decided to take this to give it to her anyway. Just like, like, hey, what do you think? And she put it on, or they put it on her, and her personality just changed automatically because she started like, imagine a 1-year-old baby wearing a Roman Reigns shirt and she's smacking around other kids. Like, just imagine that. Like, she's like, acknowledge me! And I'm just like, well, I guess she likes it. So, good on that.
That will be hilarious, actually.
It was cute and hilarious. And the kids are just like, we can't do anything. Like, what the fuck? As far as that goes, kind of with you. I mean, didn't do a whole lot. I've been paying attention to the NBA. I mean, my love that I used to have for the NBA has kind of faded away because it's just like, and I'm gonna sound like old man that yells at cloud, even though I'm 33, but whatever. Back in our day, basketball was basketball. Like, that was the basketball we grew up on. Now it's just let's see who scores 130 points first. Let's shoot 80 million.
The game's evolved, so I mean, they took away the low post man and the low post man, the centers that we grew up watching, like the David Robinsons and the Patrick Ewings and Alonzo Mournings, guys like that. Right now is more tailored to guys who can shoot the ball and who can create for themselves. So that's like the Steph Currys, the LeBron Jameses, and the Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? So it's evolved, just like how football evolved too, as well, where it was like low scoring games, run the ball, run the clock. Now it's passing. Now it's freaking, draw plays and, read options and all this other crap. So, I don't know. Maybe in 20 years from now, maybe, basketball is like, they have a 4-pointer line and people are just shooting from half court. This is probably going to come to that at this point.
Oh, God. Like, even Popovich is just like, everyone can shoot a 3. Like, it's not that impressive. He even said, create the 4-point line. Because that hasn't been done before. Yeah, I mean, I still watch and pay attention, but at this point, it's just like I only care about Spurs. Like,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
really the only
it.
team I root for. And there's a rumor that apparently the Spurs they're one of the destinations for Russell Westbrook, which I just went,
Good.
no.
No, we need him because he sucks. He sucks, and he's going to make our record worse, and that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right, but it's just, yeah, you're right. Hey, Russell Westbrook, come here. Come to San Antonio.
Yeah, just like, and we can release him after the season, right? Or trade him, or whatever the case may be. As long as the Spurs have a shit record at the end of the season, that's all I care about.
It's like, I need them to go on a 20-game losing streak.
30-game losing streak at this point, man. So the Spurs, if the Spurs somehow win tonight, and the Blazers lose, they will be the number 1 seed.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's early in the season. We're only 1 weekend, but that terrifies me.
I mean, can you imagine Skip Bayless just pretending that he's a Spurs fan, just going crazy about that?
Yeah, well, I don't like him.
Skip. Come on, Skip. Oh, Jesus. Let's move away from basketball. So, we have a lot of not too much news, but we have of course we have Halloween Havoc that happened over the weekend. We can talk about that, and then also, did you want to talk about the news first and then Halloween Havoc, or Halloween Havoc and the news?
Let's go with the most important thing is the news that's going on right now.
All right, so let's get the sad news out of the way. Unfortunately, so Kevin Nash, his son Tristan, passed away last week. I'm forgetting the day. Actually, October 20th. I'm sorry. There you go. October 20th last week.
I was going to say out there. I thought it was like last Tuesday or Thursday.
Yeah, I believe it was Thursday. Last Thursday, his son Tristan, who was his only child, 26 years old, and Kevin Nash on his Click This podcast with Sean Oliver had revealed the cause of death, which I'll read the statement right here. And that is the seizure caused a cardiac arrest, so he had a seizure. He was basically dead in his room on the floor with the EMT working on him. They got him back and got him in the ambulance and tried to save his life. Kevin Nash said the seizure came after he and his son decided they were going to quit drinking alcohol. We both decided that we were going to stop drinking, and so it was a decision where we both went cold turkey. I don't think either of us felt great because you stop drinking coffee for a day, you get a headache. I think we were both dealing with it. Tristan had been having serious issues with alcohol leading up to his death, according to his father. He had a couple of incidents. We actually sat up here last Wednesday in the course of the show. He drank 4 or 5 beers, unbeknownst to me. There was a 6-pack of Asahi Japanese beer, and he drank them. And I got pissed at him because he had this situation in the beginning of the year where he was hospitalized for almost 60 days. And also, notably, Scott Hall passed away earlier in March. Nash says, "This is my cross to bear. It's alcoholism. It took one of my dearest friends. It took Scott, and now it's taken my son." Nash also said that his son was not feeling well in the days leading up to his death, and that Nash and his wife were waiting on him hand and foot. One of the things of cold turkey is that you have an increased risk of having a seizure. This is also, I guess, kind of a medical fact I didn't know. Was when alcohol is stopped suddenly or is reduced by large amounts over a short period of time, a seizure may occur in people with or without epilepsy. According to the Epilepsy Foundation, the seizures may occur 6 to 72 hours after drinking has stopped. Nash also recalled being taken with his wife Tamara into a separate room from his son by a doctor. He just looked down at my wife and I and just said, "Your son's not going to make it. I said, I'm not going to pull his breathing tube out. I won't do that. It's not an option. And Tristan also worked behind the scenes on Click This podcast with his father. He was also a musician. And Nash also quoted, well, I don't want to say quoted because it sounds like a kind of a dick thing to say, but Nash said, sweetest, kindest, gentlest human being on earth. Kevin Nash said, end quote. I mean, what else can we say? Just that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's super sad, man. It's super sad. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't really say much other than prayers to Kevin Nash and his family. You know what I mean? I know he's having a really tough year, and his son passed away on Scott Hall's birthday.
Jesus Christ.
Scott Hall's birthday. If I'm not mistaken, Scott Hall, he was born on the 20th of November, 1958. It was Scott Hall's birthday. So Scott Hall passed away earlier this year. His birthday was on the 20th. His son passes away on the same day as Scott Hall's birthday. That right there is... He was already going through emotions already. You know what I mean? I don't know when he found out, like, or if it was like happening like from like the night before, and with his son, and his son just passed away on the 20th. I don't know. I don't want to know actually on the details about that, but just speculation. But the fact that it happened on Scott Hall's birthday, I mean, that's just, whew, man. And the fact that he went and talked about it with Sean Oliver in a podcast too, because he wanted to do it, obviously. Like, he didn't have to, right? He didn't have to do it, but he wanted to do it. Just the fact that, man, like, life's short, man. Life is too short, Just prayers and Scott, prayers to Kevin Nash and his family, man. That's all you can really say.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I believe Triple H was his godfather, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, no, I totally believe it. I believe it.
I don't have kids, so I can't relate. But it's just one of those things that you can't imagine, like having to bury your child. Because you ever seen the movie John Q?
Yeah.
There was a line.
Right, once. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a line that Denzel had, because his son had a heart condition, like he needed to get a heart transplant, but he had a unique blood level type, and there's a line that Denzel has where he says, "I'm not going to bury my son," and just that gets you right in the feels. Even if you don't have kids, that gets you just to hear a line like that, and again, just what else can I say? But condolences to Kevin Nash and his wife and the rest of his family, just losing a son, his only child. And I honestly didn't know, going cold turkey off of alcohol can do that. I mean, I knew that about going cold turkey on drugs or hard drugs or pills, but as far as alcohol goes, I honestly didn't know that. That's too much. But R.I.P. Condolences. So let's switch gears to, I guess, more happier news, however you look at it. Like we mentioned earlier before we started recording, or started the show in general, is that Triple H is making some big moves as far as pay-per-views go. So the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view will be no more. Let's see. According to WrestleVotes, speaking with Gimme Sport, I don't know who that is, Levesque will not be going forward with annual Hell in a Cell events. WrestleVotes explained that the match stipulation means a lot to Triple H, so he no longer wants to have to shoehorn Hell in a Cell matches into his booking, just because it's that time of the year. So I wholeheartedly agree with that. Me and Ruben Prime, which we just did a show yesterday on our Patreon show, so go check that out. We had been talking about that for a while. Like, anytime, whether he's on my show or on his show, or we're doing our Patreon show, that's one thing we've always discussed. Like, WWE, needs to get rid of gimmick pay-per-views. And because doing these gimmick pay-per-views, it waters down the point of the gimmick matches. Like, Hell in a Cell used to mean something. Like, when in a big blow-off feud, if the match was announced, you two, inside Satan's steel structure, Hell in a Cell. Like, as a fan, you're like, holy shit. Like, I remember there was a commercial promoting a Hell in a Cell match for, it was Jericho and Triple H. And that was like in 2002 when they were first doing the draft. I remember like the commercial graphic read, 9 p.m. The match, Hell in a Cell, was announced for Triple H and Chris Jericho. And then on the next graphic it said 9:05 p.m. two mothers are praying for their sons. Like, I mean, that was a little bit over the top and hokey, but I was like, damn, like, that's how serious this match is.
Right.
And nowadays it's just like, here's a Hell in a Cell match because it's October. Okay, because there's a pay-per-view. All right, whatever. Same thing for TLC. TLC matches are, they're special matches for, different, for certain performers. Like, there was that classic TLC match at Armageddon in 06, which to me is my favorite TLC match.
The first TLC match in SummerSlam 2000.
Oh yeah, there's that. John Cena versus Edge at Unforgiven, TLC match. Nowadays it's just like, TLC match because the TLC pay-per-view used to be in December, so blah blah blah. And then, Extreme Rules, granted this year they actually made Eddie saying the ladder match, it was just a ladder match in Armageddon 06. Oh shit, okay, my bad Eddie, thank you. Extreme Rules this year was actually an Extreme Rules pay-per-view. It actually had stipulations. It wasn't just like 2 matches have stipulations, the rest are wrestling matches. Same thing with Money in the Bank. Like, Money in the Bank was interesting because it was a part of WrestleMania, and it was always fun to see a Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania, and then it became its own pay-per-view, and it's just like, why does it need to be a pay-per-view? Because the only 2 matches that are going to sell the pay-per-view are the Money in the Bank matches. So I don't know how you feel, but I'm all for this. So what do you feel about the possibility of gimmick pay-per-views going away and just the gimmick matches actually being more meaningful again?
I mean, there you go. I mean, I can't say anything more than what you already said already. I mean, if you have, Hell in a Cell as a pay-per-view, if you have TLC as a pay-per-view, if you have Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view, it takes away the specialness of the match itself, right? Now, one pay-per-view that I do like, because it has a reason behind it, is Elimination Chamber. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, Elimination Chamber, and it probably may just need to have maybe only 2 Elimination Chamber matches. One for the men, one for the women, right? Those 2 matches there is going to determine who's going to be going on to WrestleMania to face the champions who did not, like, that brand's champions who did not win at the Royal Rumble. So if Raw both won the Royal Rumble, for the men and women, right, it's going to be the 2 SmackDown singles divisions for the men and women going for that title. So, or for that title at WrestleMania. So I'm good with the Elimination Chamber, but Hell in a Cell, TLC, Extreme Rules, Money in the Bank, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. You know what I mean? Because it is, it watered down the meaning of the match itself, right? Like, okay, every Hell in a Cell match before the pay-per-view, right? From 1997 all the way to 2008, because the first Hell in a Cell pay-per-view was in 2009, right? All the way from 1997 to 2008, in most cases, it meant something. Right? First Hell in a Cell match, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Mankind, right? You had, I'm trying to think of more matches. You had Cactus Jack and Triple H, right? The 6-man Armageddon Hell in a Cell match. They all had enough heat for those matches to be something, right? You know, like the TLC matches, right? Like, you know, even back then, like a ladder match, basically a ladder match and a TLC match to me is basically the same thing in a way, because you still get tables in, you know, you still get tables in ladder matches. Probably not as many chairs, but you do get tables in ladder matches. So it's like to me, it's like, okay, how can we really not have this be watered down? Like, how can we give these matches more substance? And that's to get rid of these pay-per-views. What do they replace these pay-per-views with, right? So, like in June, right? Typically, June is Money in the Bank, right?
Just hold that thought. Keep talking. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Keep talking.
All right, go for it. So the Money in the Bank happens in June, right? What can they do to make a June pay-per-view meaningful? How come we don't have the King of the Ring? King of the Ring, and I know that Triple H loves tournaments. So if you look at the Cruiserweight Championship tournament, if you look at the Mae Young Classic, right? If you have the Dusty Rhodes Classic, Triple H loves tournaments. Have the King of the Ring in June. The winner of the King of the Ring will go on to face their champion of choice at SummerSlam. Boom! You make your main event for SummerSlam 2 months out just by doing that right there. You know what I mean? So, to me, in my opinion, I really think that, you know, with getting rid of these pay-per-views, these gimmick pay-per-views, is going to help WWE tell better stories in the long term, right? Because, you know, once we finally get that next Hell in a Cell match, right? And I hope I don't see another Hell in a Cell match for at least another year. I mean, have your first Hell in a Cell match in 2024. It's like, you don't have to have one Hell in a Cell match every year. You know what I mean? Like, you need to, you know, make these feuds mean something. And, you know, by all means, you know, Triple H, I trust Triple H to do the right thing at the end of the day. And, you know, he's gonna do right. He's gonna do right by us. He's all about that long-term, storytelling. So, hopefully he does that. And, you know, hopefully once we get these, a new pay-per-view schedule, we'll finally get to see the light at the end of the tunnel from these gimmick pay-per-views, so being removed. So hopefully that happens sooner rather than later with getting rid of all of these gimmick pay-per-views. You know, so, but yeah. I mean, Triple H he's making a lot of good changes for the better. Made a lot of changes for the better, man. He wants to be on the international market more, right? I truly think that it will be good for him to explore places like Australia more. Remember the Beast in the East special? I think it was July 4th, 2016, maybe? Maybe it was 2016? July 4th, 2016? I think it was on Independence Day. With Lesnar, you know, basically squashing Kofi Kingston, Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens. Now that I'm saying it, that's probably 2015 actually. Well, it's definitely 2015. Kevin Owens versus Balor with the streamers being thrown into the ring. Like, come on, man! I will wake up 3 a.m., 4 a.m. just to watch that. Just, you know what I mean? Just because of the spectacle around it. So, but, you know, at the end of the day, though, Triple H, he has the company in the right direction right now. And, you know, I truly believe that a year from now, okay, probably not even a year from now, we'll say 6 months from now, 8 months from now, right? WWE is going to be even more better. The ratings are going to be even more up. You can see, like, even NXT, they were, you know, around, you know, 500,000, 600,000. You know, this NXT from last night, by all means, was not a great show whatsoever. There were over 750,000, I believe, that the rating was, right? Raw's going up in ratings. You know, SmackDown's going up as well. You know, they're having that steady incline. You know what I mean? I can see Raw if they keep it up, right? Raw's past Monday wasn't too good, but if they keep up more good shows and bad shows, I can see Raw get back over 2 million by WrestleMania next year. I can definitely see that. So, you know, to me, WWE is on the up climb right now, right? AEW, you know, I know some people here who is I won't say anti AEW, but people prefer WWE over AEW. AEW they've been doing pretty well as well. You know what I mean? Not as high as they were last year. I don't think AEW will be as hot as they ever were last year, but AEW's been doing okay as well. So it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. You know what I mean? If you're a fan of AEW, WWE, MLW, Impact, or New Japan, wherever you like, there is a product for you out there. I mean, for you to enjoy. So pretty cool. Have Drew back yet? He went to go take a shit. He didn't say he went to go take a piss. He went to go take a shit. So. All right, so, well, as he's gone, I can at least bring up this next story here. So, I wasn't prepared. I didn't think it was going to be gone this long. But, we keep the ball rolling here. So, we could talk about this AEW story real quick. Knock this AEW story out the way. CM Punk is allegedly probably going to be let out of his contract through out of AEW, right? So there he could get a buyout of his contract. Also, as well, that a little bit of news that came out today, and I got it up here right now in front of me. So this is from Nick Houseman at Wrestling Inc. So more details have come out today on the fight that took place at the AEW All Out Media Scrum. The latest comes from CM Punk's camp. This is coming from CM Punk's camp. Nick Houseman at Wrestling Inc. confirmed previous reports that AEW had not reached out to Punk following the incident, and the sources say that Punk was asked to stay quiet during the investigation, and he agreed. From the perspective of CM Punk from CM Punk's camp, the scrum did not seem like such a big deal, and things only escalated when Punk's locker room door was kicked in and accidentally hit Punk's dog Larry in the face. Larry got injured, guys. Punk reportedly took Larry to the veterinarian a few days later for a pre-scheduled appointment and was told that 2 of Larry's teeth were knocked loose and had to be removed. Poor Larry. Despite what you think about, CM Punk, I mean, it's a freaking animal, guys. This is a dog. Like, have some compassion, for God's sakes. Good God, Larry's teeth got knocked out. Now, Larry looks like one of the bushwhackers. You know?
All right, I'm back.
Looks like one of the bushwhackers now. So, I'm talking about the information that came out today. From CM Punk at the Mia Scrum, his dog Larry got his teeth knocked out. Apparently,
What the fuck? By who?
by the Young Bucks and kicked the door down. I mean, serious. So basically,
that shouldn't be funny, but what the fuck?
from the perspective of, and I'll read it again, from the perspective of CM Punk's camp, Scrum did not seem like such a big deal, and things only escalated when Punk's locker room was kicked in and accidentally hit Punk's dog Larry in the face.
Oh,
Punk
shit.
reportedly took Larry to the veterinarian a few days later for a pre-scheduled appointment and was told that 2 of Larry's teeth were knocked loose and had to be removed.
Ah, no.
Hey, man.
That, I like dogs. I'm siding with Punk on this one. Fuck the Young Bucks. Like, fuck the Young Bucks. Fuck Kenny. It's just like, Jesus Christ. I shouldn't have laughed. I was just like, that does suck. But that does suck, by the way.
I mean, it sucks. To me, all sides are wrong. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I mean, I'm not. Me personally, I'm not picking any sides. I'm just like, you guys are grown men. I know wrestling, and a lot of people are like, well, if someone were to say that about me, maybe I would react the same. Okay, yeah, sure. And wrestlers have egos, right? We all know wrestlers have egos. But at the end of the day, you guys are supposed to be professionals. Professionals, right? I mean, I can't really say anything about the 70s. I'm pretty sure they handled things like this back in the day, right? As the 70s and 80s, 90s, kind of calmed down a little bit, but you still had your scuffles. 2000s, it definitely died down after the Benoit and Eddie tragedies. And 2010s, it really died down because of guys, they didn't want to be part of that crowd, and they were just playing video games backstage. And in the 2020s is like, good God, man, like this generation is a bunch of pansies for the most part. Cancel culture and all this stuff. So to me, it's refreshing that this shit happened. I still kind of wish it didn't happen, but to me, it's like kind of refreshing. I'm like, oh, this is what this is what Jim Cornette was talking about back in the day. How backstage was kind of ruthless, and it was a world of its own, right? No.
Back in the day, if you had a problem with another motherfucker, you take a baseball bat to his knees.
Exactly. So, also, as well as I was mentioning here, as you went to the restroom, CM Punk's AEW contract is reported to be, reportedly being bought out. And in reference to that, Triple H and WWE, there could be some interest there. Apparently, Triple H kind of softened on his stance on bringing CM Punk back to the WWE. Not to say that it is going to happen. Not to say that it's going to happen 100%. But knowing that, I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
Do you think CM Punk has a chance of going back to WWE? If so, what is your percentage? Right. And okay, that's we'll start there. Do you think CM Punk has a chance of going back to WWE? Oh, if so, what is your percentage? Or just give a percentage of a chance.
I'll say this much. If Triple H wants it to happen, I think it'll happen. Because...
it will happen. He can make it happen.
He's not going
to work a full-time contract or anything like that. He's going to be part-time. That's
right,
for sure.
Right, because me and Ruben were talking about it on our Patreon show yesterday, where we brought that up. Like, if Triple H wants it to happen, it's going to happen. Because as soon as Triple H got that position, he brought back all of his I guess his students, if you will. He brought back Cross. He brought Gargano. He's more than likely going to bring back more people, and then there's going to be people from AEW who are looking at that and going, I need to go there. Like I can imagine Triple H, texting guys like Joe and Black and being like, just stick it out. You'll be back here soon. With a guy like Punk, because I'm on the ilk of, I personally wouldn't want him back in WWE, because at this point it's just Punk has just become unbearable as just a person. But it's one of those things of like, from a business perspective, it'll be huge. Like if you really want to sell merch, if you really want to move the needle, bring in more ratings. Jesus Christ. Hold on. No updates. All right, if you really want to, bring in the ratings, Punk coming out at the fucking Rumble, which is going to be in San Antonio, got my tickets, would be fucking huge. And, Cornette and Brian Last, talked about it, where, they're talking about, as far as like opponents goes, Roman doesn't really have anybody that's, fresh, that he hasn't really faced. I mean, and the only person that came to mind that's currently in the company is Cody. And then there's The Rock. And as far as I remember, and then, Brian Last brought up the idea, book, or not book, but sign, Punk as soon as you can if they have the chance. Bring him in the Rumble, have him win, and have him face Roman at Mania. And as far as I remember, I I know Punk and Roman worked or had a match on Raw, one time, but that was.
I mean, you can count it, but you can't count it.
Right.
You know what I mean, it's kind of like remember when Cena faced off against Taker. I forgot the pay per view it was, but I know someone in the chat ready to say it. But like in 2003, they had that pay per view match. Vengeance. Yeah, there you go.
I have the best of Undertaker DVD from up until that time, but
right. But anyway, like to me, I don't count that match, right? I'm gonna count the WrestleMania match, and really, I'm not even gonna count that match either because that wasn't even a real match to me either. Because Cena just got squashed. Like to me, like we never ever got Prime Cena versus the Undertaker. And both are past their problems, and Undertaker's retired. But
well, I mean, the match at Vengeance was a feud. That was when Cena was coming up, and Taker was still doing his biker.
Yeah, but it wasn't like Super Cena. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that Cena, right? It wasn't fucking like 2010 John Cena getting DDT'd on the concrete, only to fucking still win. No selling at fucking SummerSlam type of John Cena, right? This was Thugonomics John Cena, you know what I mean? Which is, to me, fantastic Cena version of Cena, but still wasn't the prime version of John Cena that we got.
Right, so as far as Punk and Roman, Punk feuded with the Shield, and that was towards the end of his run, and then he had a match against Roman, and Roman won, but again, that wasn't really... That was a match, but it wasn't really a feud between those two, and I'd be intrigued to see how a feud with Roman in his prime, and you got a Punk who's
Tribal Chief Roman versus CM Punk. Imagine those promos back and forth. Imagine that.
I mean, and Roman doesn't like Punk. I mean, he's made it very clear he's not a fan of Punk. And then you got Paul Heyman in the fucking mix.
And that's all you need right there. Paul Heyman's there. Hey, remember me? Sam Punk's like, hey, I know you, Paul.
Philip.
Like, hey, I know you, Sam Punk.
Like that. That would be intriguing as a main event of Mania, but again, my answer is from my perspective, I don't want him in WWE because I think they're doing just fine without him. But from a business perspective, if Triple H wants it to happen, it'll happen. And I think Triple H will move heaven and earth to make Punk happy. At the same time, I don't think he'll be a pushover. I don't think it'll be a thing of hey, Phil, how you no? It'll be a thing of let's talk, let's air out our dirty laundry. Let's just tell me what's on your mind. I'll tell you what's on my mind. So I can't picture Triple H being someone who's just gonna roll over and show you his belly and admit he's wrong. He's gonna be
he's not.
Punk's gonna say what's on his mind. Triple H is gonna say what's on his mind. But I think at the end of the day, they're both grown ass men. Punk's a grown ass man, or he is. Triple H is, just had a heart attack. He has kids. He's married. It's I have no reason to be mad at anyone anymore. So I'm just gonna let it slide. Let's just if we're not gonna be friends, I don't really care. But let's just have a good business relationship. And if Punk were to come back, he would have that edge treatment. He would have the edge schedule of, work big matches, choose your opponent. Because I have a feeling that they let Edge choose his opponent. I have a feeling they let him do that. And, don't kill yourself. And Punk's whole thing is, I want to work every Dynamite. I want to work every Rampage. I want to work every pay-per-view and wrestle so-and-so. It's just Punk, you don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that. Just work the schedule Edge is working. Just show up on Raw or sometimes SmackDown and just do only pay-per-views. And then, take a break every now and then. You deserve a break. You know what I mean? But what's your whole stance on it?
So this is why I say chance of CM Punk coming back to WWE percentage-wise, we're going to go 35%.
Okay.
35%. Never say never in wrestling. Never say never in wrestling. I've been watching wrestling since 1992. 1992. There's been a lot of people who you think that left WWE that you'll think will never come back. Sid came back, maybe for like a one-off, right? You know what I mean? But Sid came back, Warrior came back, Randy Savage was on good terms, on better terms, I should say, with WWE before he passed away. Because remember, he did that promo for the WWE All-Stars game, and that was his first time being in anything WWE related, you know, before his passing, right? Like I said, Ultimate Warrior, Bret Hart, Marshall Screwjob, Jeff Jarrett, right? Freaking held up money. You know, Vince held Vince, you know, on some money before going back to WCW, right? Before
Scott Steiner.
Vince hired, you know, Scott Steiner, right? You know what I mean? Give me the fucking mic, you know what I mean? Yes. So, like, you know, I can name all these guys, and, you know, time heals all wounds, man. Time heals all wounds. Jericho, yes, he did sign, you know, another 3-year contract with AEW, but do you not think he's not going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame? Like, do you think that, you know, another 5-10 years from now, he's not going to be put into the Hall of Fame? Like, that, you know, that's ridiculous. Like, of course he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, you know what I mean? Of course he's going to get recognized for that, you know what I mean? Hell, he didn't even need to sign a fucking contract. When he was with AEW when he did the Stone Cold podcast. Talking about AEW wrestlers on the podcast. Jericho's fine. He may not be back to wrestle, but he'll be back, you know, as an ambassador of the company, right? So the fact that CM Punk, to me, will be probably one of the only guys that will never ever go back to the company for no reason or another, right? I just find that hard to believe, right? I can. That's why I'm only giving a 35% chance, because he may just be that one guy that never ever goes back, and he means it, right? But you know, I'm gonna, you know, a lot of the stuff that he said in 2014, he had that shoot promo, that shoot interview with Cole Cabana. He says there's gonna be another working relationship with WWE again. For lack of a better word.
Right.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but, I mean, I guess I'm comparing apples to oranges on this one. So, when Jeff Hardy left the company for, I guess, the second time, when, you know, he left after in 2009, he did an interview, and this was after, like, you know, he was in the news when, you know, the police raided his house, and they found all that shit there, and then that's when, you know, I think Punk made a comment at a pay-per-view where he says, you know, if you think I'm wrong about Jeff Hardy, why don't you watch the news? Or something like that. And then, you know, Hardy did an interview where he said that he vows to never work for WWE ever again. And then, you know, almost a decade later, he came back. Granted, he just left not too long ago, and then he said in another interview, you know, fuck WWE. Which, again, when the Hall of Fame comes up, he'll be back. But, you know, again, new regime. Again, whatever. Anyways, but you're right. You know, time heals all wounds. You know, again, there's always that thing of, you know, Punk's more than likely going to get his own, you know, WWE Network special on Peacock, where you're going to see him go to WWE headquarters, and he's going to go in Triple H's office, and they're going to close the door, and then Punk's going to say, me and Paul, you know, we aired out our problems, you know. We're not 100% perfect, but we're getting there, blah, blah, blah. So, again, this is just wishful thinking. So, like, if it were to happen.
Now,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just pretty much saying, like, you know, I'm on the ilk of, like, they don't need Punk. But if you really, like I said, you know, if Triple H wants it to happen, it's going to happen.
Now, let's flip it in reverse. If CM Punk goes back to WWE, we know what type of business is going to do for WWE. Like, we don't even have to talk about that. What would this do to AEW?
Crash and burn.
What would
crash and burn?
Crash and burn, as in, like, you think they're going to try to counteract them or counteract WWE, or like what do you think is really going to be the what do you think is going to cause that crash and burn?
I mean, it's kind of slowly happening if you really look at it. I mean, fuck. Tony is unraveling. I mean, you're constantly hearing stories about the locker room. You're constantly hearing stories about, you know, Sammy always starting fights with people, and then Britt Baker going on podcasts and, you know, shit talking Thunder Rosa, where it's just like, if I'm Rosa, I'll walk into the locker room, punch her in her fucking nose, and quit. Like, just the whole company is unraveling because you don't have. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. It's just they don't have proper management up there, and it's like one thing that Joe Numbers from the Soup talked about with Punk is that Punk never, you know, only like working for Vince. Punk's never had an actual boss. Like, you know, when he was in Ring of Honor, he had Gabe Sapolsky, and Gabe Sapolsky just let him do and say whatever the fuck he wanted. When he went to AEW, he had Tony Khan, who gave him all the money he wanted and let him say whatever the fuck he wanted, and just sat there and let Punk, you know, treat him like a bitch. You know, can you imagine at that scrum if Vince was there? What do you think Vince would have done? I think Vince would have wanted to fight him.
He would, yeah, that's why I'm laughing. I think he would have. Like,
God damn it, you son of a bitch! Who do you think you're talking to?
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't be suspended either at the same time. I don't think Vince would have suspended him.
Actually, I'll do you one better. Imagine if that was Stephanie.
Oh my god. Holy shit. She already hates Punk as it is.
She would have. I'm not saying I know her, but just knowing her mannerisms, I can picture her just grabbing his mic and just saying, "We're done here." Like, you know, Triple H would have put a stop to it. I mean, it's just, you know, he is not used to working for someone that, you know, actually has the balls to say, well, maybe your ideas aren't all that great. You know what I mean? Like, he's used to people telling him how amazing he is, that when he works with somebody that questions his ideas or tries to suggest different ideas, it's almost like he short circuits. You know what I mean? It's like, does not compute. What the fuck is going on?
Oh, you talking about Johnny number 5 is alive?
Well, that's CM Punk, basically. Like,
number 5 is alive. No disassemble.
So that's CM Punk, guys. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, business-wise, we already know what they would do, so we don't need to talk about it, like you said. But time will tell. I mean, because we didn't think Cody would come back. I mean, we thought Cody was going to be an AEW guy for life, and he came back.
I mean, if you had to tell me a year ago, well, I'm sorry, 2 years ago, we'll just go there. 2 years ago, on who's more likely to come back to WWE, CM Punk or Cody Rhodes? I'd be like, Cody Rhodes.
I mean, with Cody, it was. I think with Cody, it was his situation, because to Cody's credit, other than the whole, you know, smashing the throne bit at, you know, the first All Out, he never really said anything bad about WWE. I mean, you always heard him put over, you know, talent in the company. You always heard him put over, you know, Vince and Triple H. Like, I think in an interview he said Triple H is probably the greatest wrestler of all time. Like, that's what he said. And with Punk, it's always just been, you know, fuck WWE. You know, fuck Vince, fuck Bruce Pritchard, you know, fuck everybody. You know, Sasha and Naomi were right. You know, nobody has any balls over there. And blah, 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 blah. So, but then again, you know, like you said, people in the past. You know, Scott Steiner just recently came back and was in the Hall of Fame. You know, mainly for his nephew. But, you know, he also said straight up, you know, you got to let that shit go. You know, and now him and Triple H have mended fences. And, you know, Braun, you know, granted, was probably, you know, the bridge to that. You know, Bret Hart came back. Ultimate Warrior came back. Bruno came back. So, it's one of those things that, like, it's possible because it's happened before. But
like, a lot of people know about this, but Randy Richter came back and did the fucking Hall of Fame, and she had the original not Montreal screw job, but she had the original screw job.
Right.
The original screw job. You know what I mean? Like, she got screwed out of the women's championship by Fabulous Moolah. You know what I mean? So Yeah, I mean, it's anything can happen in wrestling. Anything can happen in wrestling.
Yeah, at the end, I mean, wait and see because January is only like 3 months away, so anything could happen. Other bit of news. We were talking about pay-per-views. I don't know if you talked about this while I was taking care of business. Elimination Chamber date and location announced. It will be going to Montreal, Canada, in the Bell Center. Maurice, is it Center or Centra? I want to make sure I'm getting the wording right.
I think it's still Center. It's just how they spell it in Canada.
Right. February 18, 2023. This marks the first premium live event. That's such a gross word. In Montreal since Breaking Point 2009, and the first special in Canada since SummerSlam 2019. Hey, I'm all for that. I mean, because fucking Canada, Toronto, Montreal, wherever, they go ape shit bananas for wrestling. And, there was that stretch of, Raw and SmackDown, being in Canada, and, like, the fans were so much better that when they came back to the States, it was just like, can we just have, fucking Raw and SmackDown in Canada, like, a little bit more? Because the fans appreciate it a lot more than, going back to Detroit or Ohio or whatever. But, so we got that going. So it's going to be February 18th. So it's going to be the first pay-per-view after the Rumble. Another bit of news. There will not be a pay-per-view not SummerSlam, but from Survivor Series all the way to the Rumble. The Day 1 pay-per-view has been canceled. It was going to be on, the first day of the year, January 1st, like last year, but it has officially been axed. So there will not be a pay-per-view in December, let alone a pay-per-view on the first of the year. And, yeah. So, step in the right direction. Less is more with pay-per-views.
Absolutely.
That's one of the few things I like about AEW is that for their pay-per-views, it's just like, we don't need, pay-per-views each month of the year. I like the fact that they do, 4 or 5 pay-per-views out of the year. And if anything, just like do a special. Like on Monday Night Raw, do In Your House. Or on SmackDown, do Starrcade, for example. I'm just throwing out, random names. But I think WWE should really just, axe the majority of their pay-per-views and just do maybe like 4 or 5. Or keep the important ones. Obviously, keep Mania, keep Rumble, keep Survivor Series and SummerSlam. I would say keep Extreme Rules and have that be like a... Kind of like I said, kind of like an In Your House thing, like you remember back in the day. In Your House presents Unforgiven. Like, do something like that. So, I'm fine with it. Let's see. Tommaso Ciampa revealed that he has been dealing with a hip injury. Ciampa was last seen in action on September 17th at a WWE live event when he faced Bobby Lashley. He was aligned with The Miz. And ever since then, he's been out. He wrote on his Instagram, he underwent surgery on his hip labrum. He wrote the following: "The road to recovery begins. It's a similar road, almost too familiar. Special thanks to Dr. Emblem and his team for taking such incredible care of me. Thanks to the WWE medical team for once again putting me back together. And thanks to my nurses, quote unquote," he's talking about his daughter and his wife, "at home for always giving me perspective. It took a while, but we finally found the cause to all the glute/SI/back pain. A hip labrum that looked like shredded cheese." Jesus Christ. According to my wife, who watched the surgery, but it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. And yes, he says his daughter is insists on dressing like a pirate for a trip to Birmingham. So, supposedly he's going to be out for 9 months. Which sucks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you figured that they were going to do something with Ciampa. I mean, him possibly being part of the Wyatts, maybe DIY getting back together. It looks like none of that's going to happen for the time being, at least.
Hope you recover a lot sooner, Ciampa. And that does it for the news, unless there was something you wanted to discuss.
No. I mean, there's some other AEW stuff, but I mean, we can skip that. It's nothing.
Well, I mean, by all means.
This is nothing big. I mean, they were gonna make some changes to not necessarily presentation Dynamite and Rampage, but it doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah.
All right. Let's get to Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc happened on Saturday. I missed it live, so I had to watch the replay the very next day. I was at that birthday party. So Halloween Havoc was on Saturday. It was at the Performance Center. And let's look at the matches. There were 8 matches, and one of them including a pre-show. Actually, 2 pre-show matches. So technically, there were just 6 main card matches. But the pre-show matches, I don't even think. Did they even show any pre-show matches?
They were not on TV.
Okay, I was gonna say. The first one was Kiana James defeated Valentina Feroz in a singles match. Axiom defeated Javier Bernal in a singles match, so good for them. So let's get to the main matches. The first match of the night was the ladder match for the vacant NXT North American Championship. Wesley, Carmelo Hayes, Oro Mensah, Von Wagner, and Nathan Frazier.
Fantastic match. This is probably one of the best WWE ladder matches. It's probably, to me, it's probably the best WWE branded ladder match since NXT TakeOver New Orleans. That 5-star match for the North American Championship.
Mm-hmm.
The one that the main event, the one during WrestleMania weekend, the one with Ciampa and Gargano in the main event in the unsanctioned match.
Mm-hmm.
That match. This is probably the best WWE ladder match since then. Hopefully, one of the best ladder matches of the year as well. I like Cody and Sammy Guevara's match a little bit better from Dynamite. Thought that was a fantastic ladder match that they had. Yeah, fantastic ladder match. Great spots. Dangerous spots, innovative stuff. Von Khali tossing Wesley.
Jesus.
Press over the ropes to the outside, almost through the announce table. If the announce table would, you know what? I'm glad the announce table did not break, because I think with him doing that made that move just much better. I mean, because he barely touched the announce table and his ribs just bounced off the corner of the announce table. I thought that was great. Great fun match. Everyone looked great in this match. Mello, fantastic. Von Wagner did what he was supposed to do as a big man in this match. He had probably one of the best innovative spots in the past few years that I've seen in a match like that. Or Oral Mensah, very impressive, right? Wesley, obviously he won, So overall, great stuff.
I second that. I really enjoyed this match. All the competitors in it did great. I mean, I'll give your boy Von credit where credit is due. He looked good in this match. He did. He really gave out the bumps, which, again, he's a big man, and majority of everyone in this match were, smaller. So, of course, I want, the big guy's supposed to be tossing around, the smaller guys. Like, I don't want to see a guy like Von, do fucking vertical, like fucking moonsaults or acai moons, whatever the fuck you want to call them. But he was just throwing around the little guys, and it took 2 other guys to beat the fuck out of him with a ladder to actually take him out. So I thought that was creative. And that spot with Von tossing Wesley over the ring and over the fucking table, I just went, oh shit. Like, I'm glad I saw that live, because I think if I had saw that like on Twitter, I would have been like, that was pretty fucking crazy, but would have been better to see it on my own volition, and I did, so I'm glad I did. And I'm glad Wesley sold it and didn't just like fall over the table and just get right back up, unlike a match later in the night, which we'll get to. This was great. I mean, I don't know much about Mensa because, granted, I'll be honest, I don't watch NXT a lot. I kind of fell off of it for a little bit.
He's from NXT UK as well, so
right. I don't know much about him, but he looked pretty good in this match. And of course, Hayes. Hayes is a fucking star. Like he's ready for the main roster. My only worry is that what they're going to do with him, because I hope.
Bro.
Fuck no. I don't want him. I want him to be his own thing. I don't want him to be a hero. Hero sucks. They suck.
I mean, despite that, I think that's gonna it's gonna enhance Hit Row overall, and I won't say it's gonna enhance him, but like Bello, I won't say he needs someone, but like with him being by himself on SmackDown's full of of trios, right? I don't see him getting over by himself like that, especially with especially with like I said, with all these trios there. But another thing on top of that too, as well, is that Hit Row, they've been kind of mingling with the Street Profits and whatnot, right? So I think that's gonna help Mello get over to mingle with the Street Profits a little bit with the with Hit Row, and maybe 6, 7, 8 months down the line he can either turn his back on him or go by himself, or whatever the case may be. But I think it will help him in the long run if he's with somebody off the get go. I can't not to say they can't get over by himself. He definitely can, but like if he's by himself, he needs to. So for the people who are very strong by themselves, like the Roman Reigns, the Karrion Crosses, the Drew McIntyres, those guys like that. I don't see him in that upper echelon. Unfortunately, if he is by himself, he won't get past mid-card for a very long time. If he's with the group, maybe there's still a mid-card group, but maybe he can break himself off after that and, become a little bit stronger. I think there's a little bit more there with him being in a group. Doesn't have to be Hit Row. I don't want it to be Hit Row. It could be somebody else, but I think Hit Row is probably the best option for him at this point.
I mean, I'll be fine with Hit Row if they just find a way to get Francis AJ out of the fucking group. If it's Mello and Trick, joining the group and they boot AJ out of the ring, and it's just Mello being the leader of the group, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with that. But Mello's a star. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Wesley won. Wesley's now the new North American champion, and good for Wesley because almost a year ago, and I think this was after around WrestleMania time, his partner gets released, and he's for the longest time he's just trying to find himself, and we were all under this. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but it's just I was under that assumption. I'm like, this guy's not gonna last. This guy needs his partner, and then. Over time, they saw something in the guy. Shawn Michaels, who runs NXT, saw something in the guy, and they just pushed him, and they just had him go out there and cut promos, and it's just when he talks, it feels genuine.
Uh-huh.
It's not just him saying, I'm sad. I'm sad. Life is sad. Life hurts. Life is pain. Like when he talks, he sounds like a real human being. This sounds like something he's saying, and not something that someone gave him a script. And he's also really fucking good in the ring. He can sell, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he got this spot, and that he got a singles push. So, good for Wesley. To me, match of the night. Next match, you have the spin the wheel, make a deal casket match. I was just saying hi. The fiance just got home. So I was just saying hi to her.
Yeah.
Spin the deal, make the deal casket match. Apollo Crews versus Grayson Waller.
Didn't really care for this match that much.
Neither did I.
Kind of confusing when the original casket broke, and I was like, okay, what the hell's gonna happen? Then the lights turned off, then they brought up another casket. I'm like, okay, what was the point of that? like that was a very weird, decision booking this match. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now, I mean, I guess this match is really just to set up Apollo Crews to, to be part of the. He's gonna be going after the NXT Championship apparently next. Just from what happened on NXT last night, it looks like Grayson Waller's gonna be going after the North American Championship.
Oh, God.
That's kind of so we'll see. We'll see. So, but yeah, I mean, it didn't do it for me.
I didn't care about this match. I mean, because I like Apollo. I think Apollo's really goddamn good, and I'm glad to see him in NXT. Kind of, getting another. I mean, I don't know about a second chance because he got a second chance when they made him Black Panther, essentially, and they put the Intercontinental title on him, and that didn't work. Now he's in NXT and he's just being himself, and it's working, and I like it because Apollo Crews has the ability to be charismatic and and interesting and charming. Like, he can talk, and he can also work too. But this match didn't really do him any favors. I mean, because Grayson Waller, I'll give him credit where credit is due. He has a personality, and he can talk. He knows how to be a heel. He gets the being a heel part. But it's just, to me, it's just like, I still don't get what his gimmick is supposed to be. Because he's
an asshole.
Okay. But still, it's just like, his whole thing is, I'm a social media, guy, but I'm dressing like a basketball player, but I'm also dressing like a boxer. And I'm coming out to the ring and I'm juking and jiving. And I have weird theme music that's very off-putting to my character. Like, I still don't get what he's supposed to... Yeah, you say he's an asshole, but it's just like, yeah, you're an asshole, but what kind of asshole are you?
He's a prick. He's like, I'm not making the comparison to MJF, but he's, kind of, sort of, like MJF,
I mean, MJF, I get his character. Waller, I don't get his character. Like, to me, honestly, his heel mannerisms... I know I just said he gets the heel part, but sometimes it comes off as very forced. Like, it almost seems like he's trying to be a cartoon version of what a heel is supposed to be, or what he thinks a heel is supposed to be. So I'm not a fan of Grayson Waller. I'm really not. I really don't want to see this match again. And this match was not all that great. Like you said, the fucking casket breaking. Even though the whole point of the match is you're supposed to get your opponent in the casket. And then the lights go out for whatever reason, like the Undertaker's coming out, but more Druids come out, and it's just like, this was just not a very good match. Next,
sucked.
Speaking of not a very good match, you had Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade in a spin the wheel, make a deal, weapons wild match.
I like this match. I actually like this match. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was fantastic. I didn't think it was match of the night, match of the year. Anything like that. I liked it. You know what I mean? I liked it. Good little spot from the top of the, I guess you want to call it the bird's nest or whatever. The intensity, I felt the intensity for the most part of this match, right? There were some things that was kind of a little sloppy or whatnot, but Roxy's so good though. She's really good. I think, God, man, give her 5 years from now, because she's like, what, 20? 5 years from now. Imagine what the hell she's going to be 5 years from now. A multi-time WWE Women's Champion. You know what I mean? She's really good. Cora, I'm kind of liking her character a little bit more. Her in-ring still needs work. She's young, too. You know what I mean? So, 5 years from now, she's probably going to be more serviceable in the ring, right? Because WWE is high on her, clearly. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a special match, but I did like the match overall. I thought they worked hard.
This was not a very good match. Like, this was BAD bad from top to bottom, and I like Roxanne. Like you just said, I like Roxanne. She's only 20. And she's green. of course, when you're that age, you're green. Like, she's still green, but she's really goddamn good. Like, and like you said, in 5 years, she's probably gonna be even better, and wherever she ends up. But in 5 years, she's gonna be really goddamn good. Cora, I don't care for her. You already know how I feel about Cora. I'm not. I don't care that she's a heel. She still is bad. Like, she is just still all around bad. She can't cut promos. She doesn't know how to throw a punch. She doesn't know how to wrestle. And it's just her facial mannerisms. Like, it seems like she wants to. It's like she's, again, kind of like what I said about Grayson, where it's just like she's trying to be a cartoonish version of what she thinks a heel is. Like, she's basically like doing an eighth grade school monologue whenever I hear her cut promos. So she's not very good, and she's obviously a project because WWE likes her for some odd reason. I mean, because granted, she appeals to the younger demographic of younger girls who want to look like her, and then you got younger boys who think she's cute, or maybe even younger girls that think she's cute. I'm not going to discriminate, but they like her for some reason. God help us. But this match is not very good. I didn't care for it. I'm gonna sound like Jim Cornette for a second. The fact that you have two 120-pound girls out there hitting each other with weapons and not selling, and then falling off the stage through a table, and then getting up and not selling, it's just like seriously, I just want to stand up and go fuck you, like, to both girls, even Roxanne. Like, come on, really? So it's just, this match was bad. The ending was bad. Just the fact that they're yelling, you were never my friend, and I'm not your friend, and then Roxanne getting the win. Yeah, I didn't care for this match at all. It was bad. B-A-D, bad. All right, moving on to the next match. You had Julius Creed versus Damon Kemp in an ambulance match. Had Julius lost, Brutus Creed would have had to leave NXT.
Well, I won't say I love this match, but I really like this match too. Third best match of the show, I'll put it as. This was definitely a top 3 match of the show. Just Julius Creed, so he's got to be a fucking star. My God, I'm getting hard thinking about it. No homo, no rainbow.
Oh, boy.
But I'm getting hard. I'm just getting hard thinking about it because this guy's a fucking stud. He's fucking good at what he does, and in such short term in his career. The spot where Kip closed the door on his hands, like if anyone saw NXT last night, his hands were freaking swollen. Like, I'm not surprised. Like, he didn't, like, it looked like his hand was broken, but it wasn't bandaged up or anything like that. So I'm surprised he didn't break, like, no fingers or anything like that. He may have. I don't know. Very damn good match. Very damn good match. Damon Kip, he's I like him. Like, I don't like him, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Like Vaughn Khali, I love Vaughn Khali. Like, he fucking sucks, but he's great. You know what I mean? Like he's terrible, but like I love him. You know what I mean? Like, but like with Damon Kip, I'm like, I like him, I don't like him. You know what I mean? I'm still kind of, the jury's still out with him, man. Julius Creed, he's gonna be a star. Just give him 5 to 7 years, upper mid card on Raw or SmackDown. 5 to 7 years, like, he's gonna be so damn good. It's either that or he's gonna like go to another company and just like blossom and be a even more bigger star. But the fact is, Julius Creed, he has the look. He can talk. Like, he's not like MJF. He's not The Rock. He's not Stone Cold Steve Austin. But he can fucking talk, though. He can cut a promo, and you believe on what he says, right? Mm-hmm. And he can wrestle. He's very fucking athletic, right? Like, him just doing that shooting star press a few pay-per-views back, I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Type of thing. So I'm very high on Julius Creed, as you guys know.
You know what's funny about Julius Creed? I just realized this. He's what I wish Jack Swagger was. And it's just like Julius Creed is much better in the ring, much better on the mic, and it's just like Swagger, like and legit, you know, that's a fucking collegiate athlete, and the guy worked in MMA, and I think he's undefeated in MMA, and like he's obviously not a pussy. He can beat the fuck out of both of us, like combined, but it's just like, you know, just boring as shit in the ring. Can't really talk. So
Sound like the all-American Americans?
with my speech impediment, with my swagger soaring eagle, no, didn't care for him.
One penis.
Didn't care for him. But
Penis.
I like Creed. I like Julius. I also like the band Creed, but that's another story. I like Julius Creed.
Will you take me higher?
We're the ones right old barrel under the phone arrow. I'm kind of like you with Kemp, where it's like I don't hate him and I don't love him. It's just like his attire and his gimmick, whatever it's supposed to be, is kind of like off-putting. Like I don't get what he's supposed to. I get what he's trying to be, but shut the. Well, he's got one thing down. I mean, like, you know, he's supposed to be the shooters, the collegiate wrestling shooters, you know, with or was with Diamond Mine, but it's just like I don't know, he's missing something. I can't really pinpoint what it is, but he's not terrible, but it's just like he doesn't really he doesn't light the world on fire. You know what I mean? Like he's good at what he does. But I didn't hate this match. I thought it was okay. Like it was just all right. It was entertaining. It was entertainment. And just like you said, Creed's. I wouldn't be surprised if you find out he has a dislocated finger, at least one or two.
Yeah, it's his shit's fucked up. It was messed up on NXT last night. I'll you know, as we're talking here, I'll see if I can try to find a picture of it and put it in the chat.
Jesus Christ. Let's get to the next match. You had Mandy Rose defending the NXT Women's Championship against Alba Fire. The vignette was Alba Fire challenged Mandy to come to a haunted house. And just like, you know, the past, you know, few Halloween Havocs, you had Toxic Attraction show up to the haunted house, and each girl was just, they were just great in their role. Like, Mandy just being the straight one of like, okay, we got to get in there and find her. JC Jane playing, you know, kind of the scaredy cat, being like, you know, I don't want to go in there. Like, it's scary. I'll just stay in the car. And, you know, Gigi just being like, fucking like, you know, fuck yeah, I love Halloween. Let's go. Like she, like, I like that. I like the bit where she's just sitting at the table with like, you know, the zombie and whatever the fuck that was, and she's like, so what do you guys do, huh? You're a zombie? How's that like? And, you know, Alba's right behind her with a pot, and she's just like, I'm good. I don't want anything. I'm good. And she finds out it's Alba, and Alba just fucking throws her in the freezer. I thought that was funny. And you know, they what's her name? Alba dragged Mandy back to the arena. Mandy obviously gained the win. I mean, the match itself was 7 minutes. It wasn't really much of a match. So you couldn't judge it too much. But Mandy got the win. Mandy is now the longest reigning. I believe she's the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion, or I might be mistaken.
No.
But she's already passed.
Definitely.
She's already passed a year.
She's past the year, but there's two women that's still ahead of her as far as
Asuka,
Shayna.
Oh, there you go. My mistake. But what did you think about the whole, like, the segment and the match itself?
I hated that segment.
Ah, come on.
That's not what I want to see in wrestling. I'm sorry. Like, I thought we were past this fucking bullshit pandemic fucking bullshit like of fucking cinematic matches and shit. I fucking hate that shit. Dude, just because it's Halloween, let's do a fucking, fuck it, the cunt bollocks cock sucking shit. Fuck that shit. Sorry.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Sorry, you can tell I was bothered by that when I was watching the match. The fucking sucks cocks from hell. That fucking shit. But anyway,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Okay, well, but okay.
It's fake. It's fake. Okay, I'm playing.
Yeah, the match overall was 7 minutes. I mean, he did what he needed to do. I didn't. As soon as this whole like haunted house crap, that was going. And you want to know my main issue with this?
What?
How does this fit Alba Fire's character?
Good question. Like it's weird because like she doesn't really give off the vibe of I'm the spooky, supernatural character. Like I'm just a crazy girl.
She's not. She's just, I mean, she's like embracing like the burning passion inside of being a competitor, right? Like, fuck that shit, man. Like that was my biggest pet peeve with them. Like, what does this have to do with their fucking character? If it was Schism, by all means, sure. I was still kind of questioning, like, yeah, they're creepy, but they're not this type. They're not this version of creepy. Like, hey, I get it. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? But the match did what it needed to do. I mean, we knew Mandy was gonna win. I mean, now to me, my question is that okay, who's gonna take this title for Mandy? It may end up being Roxanne, may being her. I don't see anybody else in the current state of the women's division in NXT who's going to take off, who's gonna take the women's title off of Mandy Rose. Like, I don't see it. And I think what WWE wants to do, I think they just want to have Mandy Rose keep this title through at least past Survivor Series, maybe towards the end of the year. Like, but to me though, like, I mean, who's gonna take the title off of Mandy Rose? That should be even more bigger question. I mean, who we got? We got Jesus Christ. We got fucking I just said her name, Roxanne, right? You know what I mean? So she's still there. Yeah. Alba Fire just had her shot, right? Blair Davenport, I mean, we haven't really seen her since, I think she's gonna. I would say Blair, but I mean, we haven't really seen her since Worlds Collide, right? Indy Hartwell, no. Ivy Now, no. You know what I mean? Like Electra Lopez, she came back last night, no.
Nikita,
no. Love Nikita too, but no. Tiffany Stratton, she's injured. You know what I mean? So is Roxanne. I think that's probably the one that they're probably end up going with. Roxanne. Either Roxanne or Quincy Elliott.
Nah, no.
I'm gonna go with Roxanne.
Fucking that guy sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. He sucks.
Shit. He shit.
Fucking sucks. Fucking. I know we're supposed to say he's great because of reasons, but he sucks. He
fucking sucks. Like, okay. It has nothing to do with his lifestyle, but you can't cut a promo, you can't wrestle. His character's one-dimensional, which is fine. It has a very low ceiling. Very low ceiling. Maybe he can win the NXT North American Championship as a joke, but he is not going to win the NXT Championship. Don't ever fucking say that.
I mean, does anyone, like, what is his orientation? Like, is he supposed to be gay? Is he bi? Is he Is he non-binary? What is he supposed to be?
So I think he's gay.
Uh-huh.
And or he, I don't know if he's. I don't know. Kind of fucked up to say, but like I don't know.
I mean, I don't care, honestly, but it's
I don't
just like
care, but like it's okay. It's really gonna confuse the audience because like he's the super diva on Twitter talking about, oh hey, I want to as a kid, hey, I want to be a Divas champion or whatnot. Like you wrestle men, you can't be the Divas champion if you wrestle men because you are contracted as a male performer. Like help me here.
So Eddie
Now,
Eddie
throwing
Eddie
that out the window. Throwing his character out the window. Let's get his character to the side. Boom. I'm talking about his character. He can't cut a promo. He can't wrestle. He's very, how should I say, presentation. Not talking about the character, but presentation is not. I won't say generic. It's definitely not generic. It's not. It's only going to appeal to a certain demographic with his, with his presentation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with I don't want to say character, but with a presentation like that, it only has a short ceiling. So, it's fucking.
So two things. Eddie's saying he's supposed to be non-binary, which, if that's the case, I haven't heard anyone refer to him as them, they, or there. So I don't, know. But Booker T apparently got into some hot water because over his making comments about. Okay, so what exactly did Booker T say? If anyone, or do you know what he said?
He said, I mean, I believe I heard
Jesus Christ.
Basically, he's kind of going on like what is that, or
what the hell?
like you know what I mean? Like what the hell is that? Like what is it? Like he doesn't want to say like if it's like a man or a woman. Like what is it? What is that thing?
Jesus fucking Christ. He literally said that about Quincy Elliott.
Pretty much, yeah. But like,
oh my god,
and Quincy Elliott too. Like, I'm coming up as a fucking banana. People are laughing. I'm like, oh, but like, no, I don't want to. No, sorry, no.
Okay,
no.
so
Yeah, fucking grinding and twerking on Shotzi Blackheart. Like, no, bro. Like, hey, call me an old fucker, out of touch fucker. Okay, all right, whatever. Fuck you, suck my fucking dick. I've been watching wrestling for 30 years, whatever. Right? I know what works. I know what doesn't work. Right? Now, for me, I'll put it to you this way: Sunny Kiss. I like Sunny Kiss.
Yeah.
I won't say that Sunny Kiss is the greatest thing in the world, but I appreciate what he's doing in AEW. I like Sunny Kiss. Could be a lot better. He kind of sucks in the ring and whatnot. You know what I mean? But I can see the talent there. I don't see the talent with Quincy Elliott. I just don't.
I'll kind of side with you there because I'm not the biggest Sunny Kiss fan. But at least Sunny Kiss can actually, from what I've seen from him, he can actually work.
Yeah.
Whereas a Quincy Elliott, it's just like I've only seen one match this guy's in, and I've only seen that one segment that he was in with Shotzi, and I was just like, I don't need to see anymore. Like this guy, this person is just not good.
Sting.
Shut up.
Goddamn thing.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that thing there?
Tell me I did not just see that.
Okay, so like you know it's an issue, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Zoe Stark.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Zoe Stark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zoe Stark on NXT roster, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of sad that Quincy Elliott has bigger boobs than Zoe Stark.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, I'm just saying, man.
Jesus Christ. So what you're saying is Zoe Stark needs to get implants.
Or Quincy Elliott needs to fucking get... This motherfucker had... I do not want to play 2K23 whenever that comes out. Let's see, I don't think he'll be in the game, but like, let's say 2K24. 2K24, he's in the fucking game and like he has fucking boob physics. I will fucking kill myself. Like, I will literally end my fucking self on stream. Like if I see like a real, I'm not talking about like a call, right? A real version of Quincy Elliott in 2K. Like I don't want no one to be fired, right? You can use Quincy Elliott for anything else. Just get him out as a fucking in-ring competitor. If he were okay, this is how we use Quincy Elliott. Make him like a manager, right? And make him a manager as far as like he can be like a Andronis type of manager, right? You know what I mean? Where kind of like Goldust, where he's like filling up with people. Like I'm okay with that, whatever, right? But he doesn't need to be in the fucking ring. He doesn't need to be in the fucking ring. And shut him up. Cut his fucking tongue out.
Oh my god. Alright, let's move on to the main event, because we've talked too much about this.
Fuck.
Main event, triple threat match for the NXT Championship. You have Braun Breaker versus Dragunov and JD McDonough.
Love this main event. Second best match of the... I'm still kind of torn between this and the main event. I'm sorry, torn between this and the opening match. I'm gonna lead with the opening match as the best match of the night because it had that memorable spot. Memorable spot and the memorable win from Wesley. This match is fucking great too, man. Like, I always loved Jordan Devlin, man. When I first saw him in the United Kingdom Championship tournament, man, I was like, this guy looks like fucking Finn Balor. I was like, this guy has promise. Really Dragunov, been following him since fucking Progress, when he was in Progress, right? Just... him and at the time Walter having those classic matches during the pandemic, just great shit. Braun Breaker getting better by the day. You know what I mean? Just great stuff. Fantastic match. I kind of wanted Ilya to win here. The fact that Braun Breaker won, I'm like, okay, great. Let's get the belt off of Breaker now. Like I think he had a great reign. You know what I mean? It's a great reign for NXT 2.0. Let's get the belt off of him, and let's see on who's going to carry NXT into 2024 or in 2025. Who's going to be that next big guy? And to me, there's only going to be a few people who's going to be able to win that title off of Braun Breaker at this point. If Ilya Dragunov faces Braun Breaker in a one-on-one match, which I don't think is going to happen now because he got carried off on a stretcher fucking last night, I don't even know who's going to beat Braun Breaker for the title. There's a couple people. Either it's going to be the returning Dominik Dijakovic. Maybe they book him to be a killer and take the title of Braun Breaker. Maybe it is going to be JD McDonough. Maybe. He booked him strong last night. Or maybe, if you watched NXT last night, it's going to be this new character coming in called Scripps. I don't know if Scripps is going to be a woman or a man. I think it's probably going to be a man. And if they build a character up like that and they'll say, I'm here to destroy and annihilate NXT, that means you're going to be somebody that's going to be something to be reckoned with. You're not just going to say that shit just to say that. It depends on who's that wrestler going to be. At this point, I have no idea who the hell Scripps is going to be. Very intriguing promo last night from NXT. Back to the main event. Great main event. I'm just worried on who's going to take the title for Braun Breaker. Right now, there are a few people, but again, these are just names. I don't even think it's really going to happen, but these are just names right now, so we'll just have to wait and see. But very intrigued to see what this whole Scripps character is, and hopefully in the upcoming weeks we get an answer.
I enjoyed this match. I thought it was pretty good. Braun, they're putting him in with a lot of smaller guys that know how to work. So Braun, with each match can, pick up some skills because people forget Braun wasn't in the Indies. Like his first year was last year. Like his first match was on TV was last year. So putting him in the ring with guys like Dragunov and Bate, McDonough, who I'm not crazy about, but I'm starting to kind of warm up to him a little bit. It works because it helps him pick up, what to do in the ring. I'm pretty sure they're teaching him while they're working. So because Braun is good, but he's still a little green, and also NXT, they need to make sure they can find that guy that can carry it before they can feel comfortable with putting Braun on the main roster. So I enjoy this match. I like the spot at the end where Dragunov is going for the pin, 1-2, and then McDonough comes in and stops the referee, like grabs his hand before he hits the 3. I thought that was pretty unique. And I didn't watch NXT. I did see the clip of Scripps, so I don't know if anyone has any, heard any rumors on who that might be. If you do, let me know. But then you have Dijakovic coming back, burning the mask, which good, because I like Dijakovic. Maybe he can be that guy. Maybe. He's a big guy, so if you're gonna take the title off of Braun, it has to be someone that's either bigger than him or as big as him. So that's just how I view it. It can't just be someone who's just really good in the ring. It has to be someone who looks like a fucking star. But I enjoy this match. I like the Hurricane Rana spot where Braun Hurricane Rana's dragging off onto McDonough. Thought that was pretty cool. I thought it went on a little bit too long. I thought it could have been maybe 5 minutes shorter, but it was a good match. This and the opener were the best matches of the night. The opener to me was the best match of the night, but Braun winning was as expected. But just kind of like I mentioned with Roman, who's next? Like, who's next for Braun? In your opinion, who do you think is next for Braun?
Apollo.
Okay, Apollo.
He's not gonna win it though, but Apollo.
All right, Apollo, and so apparently the next NXT Takeover is going to be in December, and that's December 10th, I believe.
Yeah, so it's the same day as AEW
Ring of Honor
event. I want to say
Ring of Honor.
There you go. Ring of Honor. That's right.
So whatever pay-per-view that is, they haven't mentioned yet. It's December.
It's what's the December Ring of Honor pay-per-view? Final Battle. There you go.
No, I was talking about Takeover. Like, if it's
it's called Deadline.
It's called what?
Deadline.
You're cutting out. What is it?
Deadline.
Dead wine.
Line.
Deadline. Oh, Deadline. Okay, there you go. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm just now remembering that. I'm like, oh yeah, they did mention that on.
I like the name. I do like the name. It's different.
So I like it. It's interesting. So we got that to look forward to. And then like I didn't watch NXT, but hey, I know what happened. Ava Raine, the daughter of The Rock, made her debut on NXT as the new member of Schism. So, again, I've never seen this girl wrestle, so I can't really judge her. But it's just, to her, she has a huge chip on her shoulder because it's one of those things where I'm not expecting her to be a big star like her dad, but other people are. Like, other people are expecting her to be as good as her dad.
That's unfair to her. That's unfair to her.
Yeah, I mean, if she can just be good. Like, just be good. Be good in the ring. Cut good promos. You don't have to be The Rock. I don't want to hear her come out and be like, I'm the most electrifying, woman in wrestling. Like, well, I don't want to hear that. Like, I want to hear you be you. I want to hear Ava Raine cut an Ava Raine promo. I want to see Ava Raine have an Ava Raine match. So, I mean, have you heard anything about this girl? Like, is she good in the ring? Like, what does she do?
I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen footage of her like working out. I have not seen anything from her. I can't tell you, but I will say this: she's gonna be very, very good, very, very bad. From what I heard last night on the mic, it was comfortable. It wasn't great. She was comfortable. On the microphone. So there's that. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think a lot of people who are now, to me, looking at it both ways. Put her in a dead group, schism. It's not really gonna help her.
Right.
And she's climbing up a hill. I think now who knows? This may be something that she may want to do, right? A lot of people think like, oh, well, Shawn Michaels put her here, and yeah, Shawn Michaels probably had the final say. Triple H probably had the final say. But, it may have been her idea. Like, you know what? Hey, can I be a part of this, schism group? And can I be, because sometimes wrestlers, they do present ideas, and if it's good enough, they be put on TV. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm intrigued to see what her first match is. I don't expect. Now, a lot of people are going to have high expectations, which is going to be stupid. Do not have high expectations of her first television match. Pay attention to her. Like, I will say with her, pay attention to her training videos. Pay attention to the way that she that she works out. Is she keeping herself in shape? Is she posting things on Instagram, on Twitter, like, hey, she's going to promo class? Is she doing the little things that is going to help her the long term? Not the short term, but the long term. Those are some of the things that we need to make sure we pay attention with her. Because if you just don't pay attention to her and you go out and you look at her for her first match for what it is, I think that's going to be an injustice to her overall on her, on her probably her overall success in NXT and possibly WWE. But she does have huge shoes to fill. I mean, obviously there's that, but also as well, like, to me, if you think that she's going to end up being, as popular as her dad in the wrestling business, I don't see that company. I don't see that coming. But who's to say? 4, 5, 6, 7 years from now, right? She's very young too. Who knows? Maybe it should be, a 1 or 2 time WWE Women's Champion. And if she's that right there, if she becomes a champion, if she's in the record books as a champion, that's it. You fulfill your destiny. You became a champion in some instance. You don't need to be as big as Charlotte Flair. You don't need to be as big as Becky Lynch. You don't need to be as big as Bianca Belair, right? If you become a champion, a WWE Women's Champion, that should be good enough right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're not wrong. As long as she reaches that goal, I think she'll be fine. But on that note, we're almost at 2 hours. I kind of wanted to cut out before 10. There's really not much else to talk about. Raw wasn't really all that great. I mean, the only highlight, if you want to call it a highlight, is Nikki Cross came back, and now she's the crazy Nikki character, which,
yeah,
I mean, she's no longer a superhero, so good, but I don't know. I just we'll see how it goes. That's really all I gotta say. I kind of said I don't really care, but I'll give it a chance. I'll see how it goes. Because I don't hate Nikki. I actually do like Nikki, but over the years, like, I just kind of lost interest in her. But we'll see how this works out. But I know I said there was something I want to try at the end of the show, but we're running a little late, so we'll have to try next week. But this Saturday is going to be the second Q&A show for the month of October.
I think it's the third Q&A. Oh, second of October. Gotcha.
Right. I believe it's like episode number like 4 or 5, like in general.
Yeah.
Of the ones we've done, but like, yeah, second Q&A portion of the month of October will be this Saturday. Like I mentioned, you guys still have time to send in questions. You can send in as many as you want. Our requests are mainly just since Halloween's coming up. Try to make them Halloween, oriented. Make them like horror movie oriented. Make them interesting. But I love the Q&A shows. I always look forward to the Q&A shows.
Yeah,
so
very fun.
They should be great questions. You guys usually knock it out of the park with questions. But with that being said, that concludes tonight's show. Justin, thank you for being here as always.
Absolutely. And
everybody else, thank you for tuning in, whether on Discord or listening live. or downloading on Spreaker. And as always, Patreon, $5 a month. You'll get the ad-free, unedited version of this show, as well as other shows. I do a show with Jeff Lippman that we just put out last week. It's called From Our Lips to Your Ears. Jeff actually has very nice things to say about you, Justin. He said that he thinks you're a very good addition to the team.
Oh, sweet.
So he wanted to give you a little shout out.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff Lippman.
I do a show with RJ called Attack of the Savage Nerds. We haven't done a show in a while, but we're trying to make that happen because we have a lot to discuss. So hopefully we can get one out pretty soon. I do a show with Ruben Prime called Culture Attack. We just did an episode yesterday, and I haven't edited the show, but I'll try to have it up tomorrow, if not then Friday. I'm off Friday through Halloween, so I have all the time in the world to get these shows up. And you can also check out our older show, Worst of the Worst, where on that show we reviewed we would review bad movies, and then we kind of had to like really think about it. It's like, well, we need to watch movies that are at least entertaining. So check those shows out.
Entertaining.
Yeah, true. But I didn't think about that. But I was going to say, oh yeah, those episodes are still up there. You guys can listen to them. Just $5 a month, people. It's a damn good deal. And this show, of course, the free portion every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. I don't know Pacific time, so you guys have to fill me in on that. Live on the Wrestling Soup Discord channel, also live on Spreaker. And social media, I'm easy to find. All you gotta do is type in Drew Yari. I'm the only Drew Yari I know. Unless there's another Drew Yari out there. If so, then fuck him. But, Justin, where can they find you?
Yeah, of course. Follow me on Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Yeah, I've been getting some requests on my personal Instagram, which I don't mind, but I don't post anything wrestling related on there or anything wrestling at all. So just follow me on Instagram on Spinebuster Tees, so that way you can keep up to date with me in my journey on the brand itself. This past weekend I bought some figures and whatnot. It's been great with this journey, and we're gonna get our store open here. At this point, maybe mid 2023. That's what I'm looking at right now. So, go on the website, spinebustertees.com. We have our fall sale going on. Use fall 10 at checkout for an extra 10% off. And, check out, all the designs up there. The Russell Mar t-shirt, the I Am the Mar t-shirt, weapons and Matches of Pro Wrestling t-shirts are up live. The original Just Enjoy Wrestling t-shirt, the women's wrestling t-shirt. I have all these designs up live on spinebustertees.com, only for $19.98 each. You can't beat it. Ooh. It's great stuff. Great stuff, guys. So check it out. Hit me up if you guys have any questions on Instagram, and I'll be able to answer your questions.
Hit my boy up. With that being said, that concludes the show. As always, guys, I have been Drew Yari.
Justin.
And we will see you next week, same time, same channel. And we'll see you this Saturday for the Q&A. Have a good week, guys. Enjoy Halloween. And most of all, peace.
Peace out.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.